And I look down and there's like a hole, 6 feet to 8 feet down, and I can hear water rushing under.
Holy shit.
So that means there's snow, like here, let's say.
Yeah.
And you know how a river works, right? There's snow, and it's hollowed out under it.
Yes.
So
what if these low moments in our life where it feels like we got kicked straight in the junk was actually just the next thing to set us up for something great? My name's Nathaniel Burke, and I'm the host of Kicked in the Junk podcast. Divorce, job loss, injury, or just something that we needed, and the universe telling us we need to change our course. Why can't we all learn from each other? Fight, flight, and even freeze. On this episode of Kicked in the Junk, I have a wonderful discussion with Ricco Dicarlantonio about a moment in his life where he literally had to freeze and was frozen, stuck in the snow during a day of skiing in Japan, and how he was stuck and needed to freeze in order to save his life. It's an amazing story and really cool how we were able to dissect and learn a lot from this story and how it applies to so many areas of our lives where we do have to just sometimes sit instead of running and hiding, and we have to sit and analyze. So it's a wonderful story. I hope you really enjoy it. I know I really did, and I learned a lot from this. And if you're, again, if this is the first time listening and you enjoy it, please comment, share. I know it helps to grow it. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. And if you're really, again, if you're a fan of this, share it with a few friends, share it with 3 friends. It helps to grow what we're doing, because this is not about me, this is about us and everybody learning from other people, so that way we don't have to get stuck in our lives. So on that, if you are someone that is feeling stuck in your life right now, and you have this idea of what you want, but you're not sure how to get there, I'd love for you to reach out to lifepurposely.ca. Me and my wife are running a program there. We'd love to help you out, whether it's an individual or couples. We're helping people change their lives through mindset, movement, and meditation. And I'd love for you to just reach out for a 30-minute discovery call. No charge, no strings attached, just to help you out. And lastly, we are starting our 3rd week of our free meditation workshop. You can, again, go to lifepurposely.ca to register. It's 30 minutes online once a week, just teaching people how to meditate, because this is something that has vastly impacted my life and can make such a great impact on your life. We're going through breath work, we're going through visualization goals. So I hope you join us on both of that. And yeah, so please, again, enjoy the rest of this podcast, and I'll catch you at the end. Well, thanks, Ricco, for being on the show. I appreciate you being here. Known you for 10 years plus.
10 years plus, yeah.
Yeah. I've learned a ton from you in the past. I know me and my wife actually did some Japanese fighting with you in the past, which is a great time.
Swords and lightsabers.
With the lightsabers, yeah, that was a great time. Definitely enjoyed it. And I've always found I've heard from other people call you the most interesting man on earth. and it's because some of the experiences you've been through. And every time I talk to you, there's a new story, and it's some of the stuff you've done and continue to do, which is fascinating. So, yeah, again, thank you for being on the show. Thank you. We're here in your gym, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I love that you're building this, jiu-jitsu and an MMA kind of style gym for yourself, which is awesome. So, kind of an idea of what the purpose of the show is talking about when life hits throws these curveballs at you, and how do you grow and learn from them? And, what wisdom do you have for others? And I know I've learned lots from you, so I'm sure other people can learn from you. Yeah. So maybe you want to share one of your stories.
Okay, so the main story I thought about and I came up with was when I was in Japan. So I was teaching, phys ed in Japan for like 5 years. Okay. And there's amazing skiing there. Yeah. So the hills are very mellow. Yeah. But they bring this crazy amount of snow, right? Oh. So in some of these little villages, you'd have like snowbanks all the way up till the street lights, the red, green, and yellow lights, right? Wow. Yeah. So you get this tons. Yeah, it's actually called Yukiguni, or like snow country. Oh, wow. So then there's this northern island up in Hokkaido, and the wind comes in from Siberia and hits the ocean, just like whipping through. Yeah. And it hits the ocean and gathers, the moisture, and hits the mountain and just whips up and then dumps all over this place in Niseko. And it's unique because there's like this volcano in the distance. Oh, and cool. So you're skiing down, these Mount Hirafu or whatever. Yeah. And there's a cool little village, which is like half Japanese, half westernized,
Oh.
and you get to see this volcano in the distance.
Yeah.
And on a sunny day, obviously, but people sometimes ski that volcano also.
Whoa.
So yeah, they're home to like 700 different resorts.
Holy.
Yeah. So that whole island acts like this spine, you know,
Yeah.
or like you think of a half pipe in a
Yeah.
snowboarding or in skateboarding, and the wind just rips in, grabs it from the ocean,
Yeah.
and then recycles it down. It's like a snow factory. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
For 5 days straight, it would just snow and snow and snow.
Holy.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're used to snow
Yeah,
here
we're in Canada. Yeah,
Canada,
yeah. So
Yeah,
a lot of snow.
a lot of snow, and
Okay.
the mountain's a bit steeper here, but the snow isn't like consistent like that, where it's 5 days in a row, and I don't think it stopped.
Wow.
So you like go up the mountain, you go ski, up the mountain, you ski down, you go up again. Those tracks are already filled in by the snow.
Holy.
Yeah, it's just like champagne
Peaking
powder,
snow.
yeah, and sometimes up to the armpits, like you can just float into it.
Yeah, yeah.
It was amazing, yeah.
So sounds like a pretty good time. So then,
Yeah.
what happened? What things?
So-
Something changed.
Yeah, there's a lot of links here with,
Yeah.
my behavior, who I am, and everything, and
Yeah.
how I ended up into this story. So I'm having a great time skiing and snowboarding in Japan, and I don't think I ate anything but an apple that day because I was so excited. And there's like no friends on Powder Day.
Yes.
We hung out with our friends, but we were going up and down and up and down and up and down.
Yeah.
And we never even stopped for lunch. I think
Yeah.
they said like I had an apple.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah.
So, because it's Japan, it's unique, it's convenient, it's always like catering.
Mm-hmm.
What happened is it keeps the lights on for the night skiing.
Mm-hmm.
So then you don't like stop at 3 p.m. and then go back home and then come for night skiing. It just leaks into night skiing,
Right. Yeah.
right? So we're having the greatest time. We're hiking backcountry. We're going, in deep powder. We're getting stuck in powder wherever. We're exhausted, and
Yeah.
I've had an apple.
Yeah.
And it hasn't stopped snowing. And it's went from like 7:30 in the morning right till it's starting to get dark. So I can't remember the time, like 4 or 5 p.m. or something.
Sure. Yeah.
So obviously we're having a great time, and everyone's tired. And my three friends, and my three friends and my girlfriend at the time went to the lodge.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm like, I'm having so much fun. Just one more run.
Yeah.
I say
the
just
adrenaline's going. Yeah.
one more run, which is the thing
Yes.
you never say. It's because it's superstitious, right?
Yep.
Just one more run. I'll just do. Come on, guys, we got to go check the powder out over here. Like,
Yeah.
haven't you had enough?
Yeah.
Like,
We've been here for how many hours, right?
Yeah, we've been here since the morning. We haven't eaten yet.
Yeah.
Like, we got to go home, right?
Yeah.
No, I got to go, right? So they're like, we're not doing it. We're gonna go back to the lodge, right?
Yeah.
And it was cool because it was Hilton Hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and the Hilton Hotel had this like ski in, ski out,
Yep.
like it was like a gondola.
Yep.
So it went into the hotel.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
That's super wild. Yeah.
So you actually got out of the gondola and you went into the hotel, and it was this like really amazing hotel, high like cathedral ceilings with cool like bar in the main thing.
Yeah.
And you go up to your your room, but you can go downstairs and there's a hot spring.
Mm-hmm.
So hot springs are big there in Japan, and if you go snowboarding or skiing all day and you're tired,
Yeah.
you can go back in the hot spring and recharge yourself.
Yeah.
And for some reason you're good again. I'm not kidding.
Something in the water.
Something in the water, right? In these hot springs.
Yeah.
So they have it in the basement of the hotel. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're
So you're doing one more run.
I got to do one more run, and they're going back to the nice warm,
Yeah.
hot spring. So I duck under the ropes, which you're not supposed to do, right? There's reasons why it says waterfall ahead, and waterfall is not like Niagara Falls coming down, right? Waterfall could be what we call rapids or a creek, something like that, right? So it says waterfall ahead or something.
Whatever.
So I'm looking for more snow. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I got my nice fat skis on, and I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
So then I go and I start going, and meandering down. It's nice, mellow route. Still some powder, still snowing. I'm getting away from the lights of the hill now.
Mm-hmm.
They got the night lights on,
Yep.
and it's getting further and further. But in my mind, I think I'm okay, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just going through. It's starting to get flat. There's no trees all of a sudden. Woof! And I fell forward. And then I rolled to my side.
Yeah.
And I looked down, and there was like a hole 6 feet to 8 feet down, and I can hear water rushing under.
Holy shit.
So that means there's snow, like here, let's say.
Yeah.
And you know how a river works, right? There's snow, and it's hollowed out under it.
Yes.
So there's
just built a little snow bridge, if you will.
It's a snow bridge, yeah. So then,
oh my God.
So then there's probably a gap between where the bottom of the snow is and the water.
Yeah.
So I'm staring down into that, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to assess how far down is that. And I'm looking around like, how did I not see this wide open space? Of course it's a creek or a river or a waterfall, right?
Yeah.
It's all here. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Like, how'd you not see that? But when you're going down over the little creek,
yeah,
nice powdery snow, and you can't see where this big, maybe it's an air hole that pops up. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
But it looks like a tree well.
Yes.
But you can't see it at the time. So until I luckily I hit the edge, and I backed up, and I put my feet, where's my skis on this edge of the hole, my back's on this edge of the hole.
Yeah.
And I knew to not move, because as you know, if you grew up in snow,
yeah,
it's like hard, but if you do something, it'll collapse. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. So you're stuck there. You were able to take a second to realize, like, oh shit, I'm literally in a hole.
I'm in a hole, yeah.
What was the first thought in your head?
Like, it wasn't even a thought. It was sick to my stomach,
Really?
Like, you idiot. Like, how did you did all the wrong things, right? You went on your own.
Yeah.
You went under the ropes. Yeah. You didn't have anything to eat, right?
Yeah. So you're running, no advantage.
Yeah, if I wanted to really, give myself a disadvantage or handicap, I did all the steps, which you don't do, right?
Oh my God.
Just as risk-taking, character's not even thinking.
Yeah.
Just wants this impulse, this rush to go and do something,
so
right?
your adrenaline's going, and and that kind of makes sense, because how old are you at the time?
Like 20, I can't remember, it was like 25 to 30.
20s, right? So mid-20s, it's about having a good time, you're having fun, right? And so, yeah, you can see, I'm picturing that now, and I've been there before, where you're like, no, I just keep going, like, this is a great time, I feel good, my adrenaline's pumping.
Yeah.
If I eat, I'm going to slow down and feel tired.
Yeah.
Why would I do that? I know I do that with football, for example, if I'm, because I still play. And if I eat, I feel like I slow down, so I purposely go just a little bit, and then eat a lot after, but, so you're in this whole, shit, why did I do this? When did the fear set in? So
it was the initial one, right away, boom, fuck, you idiot. How are you going to get out of this? You can't move in the snow, right? So it hit me right away. Okay. And then from that point in time, it's interesting, it dissipated from there. And it went to nothingness. Well, I'll get into later, right?
Yeah.
So because I grew up in the snow and with, you built snow forts and everything, right? I know exactly what this texture is. And I know it's hollow under there and there's water. So let's say I fall down, and I'm, knee deep, waist deep, or I wouldn't, God forbid, it's over the head, right?
Yeah.
If it's over the head, I'm done, right? It's too cold. It's minus 15 degrees.
Yeah.
If it's knee deep, how am I going to climb up snow? It doesn't happen, right?
You can't.
And you get skis on the bottom of your feet.
Yeah.
So how are you going to climb out with ski boots or skis? It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So then the fear was showing me or teaching me that you can't move.
Interesting. So you're, it puts you in this place of, weirdly enough, in surrender.
Surrender.
And you're there with yourself and your thoughts.
Yeah. Me and my thoughts.
And so, did thoughts of, oh shit, I'm going to die, start popping up? Was it thoughts of I'm okay, right away it was I'm okay, I can get out of this? Or what was that kind of process like?
First thing, like I said, I got a feeling. And the feeling was it's your fault, right?
Yeah.
Nobody to blame but yourself.
Yeah.
Who am I going to blame?
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
So, oh man, you idiot. Then the next thought was immediately, don't move.
Right.
Don't move. So then I put my feet there, didn't move.
As long as you can, yeah.
Felt kind of like the texture around me.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't think consciously, start breathing, but I can feel my breathing come down.
Interesting.
So I often talk about how different people have different nervous systems, right?
Yeah.
So my nervous system, when there's a high-risk situation, I calm down for some reason. Other people, so my a serotonin will kick in or GABA will kick in.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I'll focus in a big panicky situation. In situations where there's nothing happening, boring, my brain does the opposite. it pumps the acetylcholine, and it's like imagination. I could make a negative scenario out of anything, right?
Yeah,
like paranoia almost, right?
Yeah.
So it's strange because when in a high level risk situation, calm down. Boring situation, I get anxious.
Right.
Strange.
So did you find then? It sounds like, because I think you've been practicing, jiu-jitsu, kung fu, all this stuff previously.
Yeah.
Did you find some of that you're able to lean on some of the mental practices there?
Exactly. So
right.
Reacting to the situation was just like, you get the fight, right? You get the flight, but people forget the other one is freeze.
Yeah.
You see the squirrel do it sometimes, right?
Oh, marmots do it all the time. Yeah, and they just stop and they just wait and hope nobody sees them, right?
Yeah.
Because predators react to movement.
Yeah.
That's when that's their trigger. Lions, they say, it's like when you run, that's when they attack.
Exactly, and then different organisms will have different ways to sense the world. Like catfish can sense like minerals, right? In amino acids in the water. That's why where a snake is sensing the heat patterns.
Yes, and the vibrations.
A bird has got vision.
Yeah.
Right? Dog's got smell. So we all got these different ways of interpreting the world. As a human, I get this pang in the stomach. Boom. Sick to your stomach immediately, which is a good technique, right?
Yeah.
It's telling me something. I didn't run, right?
Yeah.
I didn't fight. I froze.
Yeah.
Literally, it's the theme of, you're I freeze.
Both literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
So you're sitting there. How long do you think time? You said you had your phone on you, and so how did you? Thankfully you had that, and you were able to get out of the scenario.
Yeah.
How did that? What did that look like?
So I panic first, right? The fear.
Yeah.
And then I freeze, and I establish myself, and then I start seeing if I can get the skis off my feet.
Right.
But it was a dumb idea, right? I clicked the boot out of the binding. And then I realized, you got to keep your feet in there because they're big paddles, right?
Yes.
It keeps me based
and
out.
It spreads your weight out.
It spreads the weight out, right? So that's what I kind of felt. I got to spread the weight out.
Yes.
I got to grab my phone and see if I got something. Luckily, I've got like one bar, and the battery's like dwindling down. But I've got something, right?
Please work. It's like the movie, like you got one call on the battery's just chipping, like flying down. Oh my God.
And that's what I was thinking too, is like, Amori Defati is like the love of fate. Is like, kind of wrote this better myself, idiots. How do you do something so stupid?
Yeah.
And then I'm calming down and I'm basing myself out, and I see the phone. I'm like, whew, sense of relief.
Okay.
I call, and like the call goes through. Like, guys, I sound really calm right now. My friend answers.
Yeah.
In the hotel.
Yeah.
I sound really calm right now, but I need help.
I'm gonna die.
They're like,
I could die.
What happened? Well, remember I went off course? Yeah. Well, I'm stuck over like a hole, or I'm in a hole. And they're like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, can you come get me?
Sweet. What do you want us to do? Oh, no.
What do you want us to do?
Yeah.
Can you come get me? Holy jeez, it's pretty serious, eh? Where are you? That's when I started getting afraid. My brain scrambled, like, where am I?
Right.
I have no clue. I can't explain where I am.
I'm in a hole. Like, I can't.
Remember where I left you up there on that run, and then somehow I got to here, and I can see the lights, 500 meters off or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm screaming and yelling, help, help, for some people. No one's answering.
Snow's snow kills the sound, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's so quiet in the winter, right?
Right. And then, so I'm asking them to come help, and I can't explain where I am. So that makes me a bit anxious.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't even, what's the directions? Then I'm like, oh, you idiot, you got your phone on you.
GPS, yeah.
So I GPS the pin, right?
Yeah.
Send the pin to them, right?
Yeah.
So they go talk to the snow patrol.
Yeah.
And the snow patrol, they go around, and I'm waiting and waiting. And it's some point in time, I'm like super, super calm. And I realize, like, it's almost like a voice in my head saying, not saying it's another entity or something, but a voice in my head is like, you're going to be okay. This is not the door yet, or the exit yet. You'll be fine.
Interesting. Yeah.
Something went off in my head, and I calmed immediately down. I just didn't do anything.
Wow.
Because I thought the freezing technique would at least keep me up. If I fall in the water, I don't see that ending well.
Your chances diminish very quickly.
Yeah, even if, let's say, it's up to your ankles.
How do you climb out? How do you, and then, or what happens if it collapses on you? That's a lot of snow.
It collapses on you, right? You're wet. How you know walk out of the ski boots? You ever try with ski boots? You can't get out, man.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking freeze and stay there. Someone's going to come find you.
Yeah.
They can do it. They got dogs. If I can just stay there and do nothing.
Yeah.
That is my best bet.
Wild.
So I can't go there. I can't fight. I have to freeze.
Yeah.
I said I'm going to stay frozen until someone comes.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. There's no. If I move, it's worse. Way worse.
Right. So you got out.
So yeah. So
thankfully
they came. So anyways, the rescue team came around.
Yeah.
And they couldn't find me.
Yeah.
So then I was looking. The batteries running down. I got to call them again. I said, "Listen, I'm here. I'll keep yelling when you're close. Okay."
Mm-hmm.
But I've been yelling for a while now, and my voice is getting tired, right? So then I'm starting to get a little bit, Now the fears. You came once to find me, you couldn't find me. No. Now the fear is settling in just a bit more. Like, how could you not find me? I'm not that far away.
Yeah.
The rescue team can't find me. That's not good.
This is their job.
So I call them. Just do another loop. I think I heard where you guys were.
Yeah.
Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. So they come around. They do another loop. And I'm yelling, help, help, help. And then they see me. They toss me a rope. I grab the rope. And because my belly was flat, when they pulled me in the rope, I was able to slide without it collapsing.
Whoa.
And the guy goes, holy fuck, you're like a samurai, man. He said it in Japanese, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you almost shindatta, which is like close or die, right?
Yeah.
He goes, oh, samurai desu ne.
Yeah. I guess I am now.
Man, I just froze. My brain just went calm automatically. I don't know, how it did it. So I was, they pulled me out and I went to the hot tub, hot spring. And, that's what I was thinking the whole time in my mind. I'm like, man, I just can't wait to get out of here and just see my friends, see my family, get, in the hot tub. Can't wait to get out of here, see my friends, see my family. So I'm like coaching myself the whole time, right?
Wow.
Can't wait to see my friends, my family.
So you had your why. Right? You had of like, okay, I need to survive so I can see these things. I need to stay alive to do this stuff, right? Which is so cool.
Yeah. I never thought about it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, looking back at that now, how did you think that helped you moving forward in your life? I mean, you've been through some stuff. You started your own business multiple times, different gyms, that kind of stuff. How do you think that mentality, or even going through that experience, helped you in these difficult times? Because I know there's other people right now that are going through difficult stuff, and this is the whole purpose of this. So how do you think that helped you, and what's the lesson there?
Well, yeah, I think the lesson is if you do get in a situation where you feel a bit overwhelmed, right? Maybe the first reaction that you want to do is like fight.
Yeah, fight it, yes.
You might want to fight it. Might not be the best thing. Because we know in like boxing or jiu-jitsu, the beginner, their natural instinct is to go into a choke or get into an ankle lock or go into an arm drag. They walk into everything with their natural instinct. Like a deer in headlights, their first instinct is to run to the light, and that's not the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. So maybe fighting the thing isn't the best.
Right.
2, possibly running is not the best thing either.
Because you're just ignoring the problem.
Because you're ignoring the problem, or
sometimes it makes it worse. Yeah,
maybe it's worse over there.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So you're not accepting where you are, or the responsibility for it,
right? And you know what, I'm going to interrupt for a second, is accepting the responsibility.
Yeah.
And I love that, because I find, how many people do you know that you talk to in life, that you meet, oh, this happened, but it's not, oh, it's this, and they kind of point the fingers. Right? And they go, well, it's that fault, it's this fault, it's COVID, whatever you want to blame, you point the blame at anything. But you said, I've said this before, but when you point the blame, you give the power. So if I'm saying, but you said earlier, well, this is my fault, I'm here. When you're in that scenario, so you took the blame, which sucks, but you also took the power, right? Because you had the power now to get out of it.
Yeah.
You could have freaked out, you could have done one of those things, you could have, but you didn't. So that's super cool. So I definitely like that about the freezing, and I think assessing the scenario.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And that's the first thing they teach you in first aid, is when you get in there, you assess the scenario, right?
Yes.
You don't know if that thing's gonna, the light's gonna fall, or there's water over there, there's electricity over there, right? So your instinct of fighting something or running, which means moving, might not be the best thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a different positions in jiu-jitsu, even boxing too, when you kind of turtle up, that there's a good time, there's like a little break time or like an island to rest on for a second. And I think people need to see that, you can do things in chunks, right?
Yeah.
You do things in chunks.
Yeah.
Everyone cheers you at the end at the celebration, or they cheer you at the beginning when you're doing everything.
Yeah.
But you gotta cheer yourself on, like, in the meantime.
In those little increments.
Absolutely.
And I think that's so well put, because again, it's everybody wants to, I've heard it, it's you're celebrated in public for what you practice in private. Right? But it's those things in private that are the toughest things. Those things building your business, or if it's building yourself or trying to work up, so you're trying to lose weight, or you're trying to, whatever you're trying to do, any goal, those little grinder days, I call them, but those little small things, those are the hardest ones, right?
Yeah.
So to be there for yourself,
yeah,
right, and take them in little pieces, right? That's really good. I like that.
Yeah. So I think you can like how do you eat an elephant, right?
Yeah.
One bite at a time.
Don't eat elephants, people.
Yeah.
But I get it. No, I've used that same analogy. It's true.
Yeah.
Right. You're not taking it all today. Right.
Yeah.
It's just, what can I always tell, I coach football, and then that's the two things I expect out of everybody is your attitude and effort, because those are two things you can control all the time, always. In any scenario, you control your attitude and what kind of effort, the attitude, or the meaning you give it, and then how much effort you put into whatever you want done. Right. So that's amazing. So again, what's your other lessons there that you can kind of look back at that and go, you know what, that helped me be this person, or that helped me to do this, things. You've done some really cool things.
So I think the main thing is, like, if you analyze that situation, you can like see my entire life in that little micro situation.
Yeah.
You can see my macro situation. So
okay.
Later on in life, I figure out I got like autism spectrum disorder with a bit of ADHD.
Yeah.
So
okay, wow.
Part of the disorder is to take risks like that, right?
Oh, wow.
So I'm the guy, when everyone else is going in, I'm the guy still out, wandering around on some adventure.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so maybe in history I was the character, the DNA type that would go out to the forest and then come back with, scratches all over. What happened? Well, I was following the deer and the bear got me. Like, holy jeez.
Yeah.
Or like if you remember in the movie The Beach,
yeah.
that someone goes out to the water. Remember, and with DiCaprio on that, and they get hit by the shark, right? So there's always a character in society that's going to go on the adventure, right?
Right, pushing the boundaries.
Pushing boundaries, right?
Yeah.
So in every story, there's a hero comes to down, hero comes to down, or the hero leaves on a journey, right? Or sorry, stranger comes to town, or hero leaves on a journey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, if you're thinking about it in that terms, I'm either, come or going in that situation, right?
I know, absolutely. Yeah. And you know what, it teaches you, I think really the extrapolation there for everybody is it teaches you about yourself.
Yeah.
It teaches you what kind of person you are.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what, I am the person that can stay calm in a snare and figure my way out and not panic and do this. And that's, I think, so many people need to look at is, if you're going through something, look at your life right now. If I'm stuck in a problem and I still have to do this, is if you're stuck in something now, look back at where you were successful. What did you do? Copy that, right? And as best you know. I think that's amazing. And then the other part on it I was going to mention was like, I think it builds trust with yourself. So how did a scenario like that help you trust yourself moving forward? Because trust changes everything.
Yeah, I think it took me a while because, like I said, with the risk taking, you get in trouble over and over again, right? So the hero is always like leaving or coming, they're never steady or frozen.
Yeah.
So then I'm the character that gets kind of like shocked to tell the story, right?
Yeah.
So if I get burnt on my adventure, I come back and tell the tale.
Right.
So now I'm thinking, that's kind of my nature. It kind of goes around with the disorder. So I need to treat my risks differently. Really pay attention to numbers and like risk management and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And start to focus on that, knowing that I'll still, want to go take a risk here or there.
Yeah.
But I may not have to do as big a risk as, like I said, you duck into the ropes.
Yeah.
You're going on an adventure, right?
Right, yeah.
And there's no one with you, there's no food into you, all those things, it was a little too much of a risk.
Yeah.
Right? So you can do that in many different things, finance or with relationships and stuff like that. But, if I'm just by myself, I'm hurting myself. But if you're with a group, right? Your friends, your family, or your teammates and stuff like that, if you go take risks, you may drag everyone with you.
Yeah.
So the responsibility of me, screwing up like that and then dragging people with me, it's not fair to them, right?
Right, absolutely.
So at least this time I kind of dragged them with me because they saved me, right?
Yeah.
I interrupted their meals or their fun times and whatnot. Yeah.
But they weren't in the hole with you.
Yeah, they weren't in the hole
Absolutely.
with me.
But I think it would build. To go back to the trust, I think it would build a lot of trust with yourself. Because like you said, now you trust yourself to, okay, I can take this awful scenario.
Yeah.
Maybe let's not go that extreme.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can handle this, well, now this stuff should be easy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And building trust with yourself because, again, I think there's people out there, and I know I've been there, where you don't trust yourself to take that. You don't trust yourself enough to, go to a party. Let's say you're trying to, on the fitness side, you're trying to lose weight, you're trying to get in shape, and you go to a party and not have, just because there's beers there and pizza doesn't mean you have to have them all, right? So having that trust with yourself, which is such a valuable thing.
Yeah, it's a good point. I'm trying to, as you're saying things, you're making really good points too. So I'm thinking wow, if you're trusting yourself, it means you get confidence.
Yeah.
So let's say there's a zombie apocalypse, meteor hits, there's floods, there's viruses everywhere, the world just goes crazy. I'll be good in the forest. Yeah. I'll be good in the forest.
I'm hanging out with you because you'll be the calm one. I'll be the one freaking out.
Yeah. Or I see there's a lot of homeless people. It's gone up, since
absolutely.
I've been here.
Bankruptcy, all that kind of stuff, right? People panicking.
Can I live in the street? Yeah, I can live on the street. I can live in the street. I can live in the forest. I don't want to do these things. I don't, right?
Yeah.
But I have that confidence and trust that somehow I'll find I'm a traveler now. All of a sudden I'm a traveler and I'm going to find a way, right?
And I love that. I've heard it from, I can't remember the guy's name, but he was beautifully put, and it was when assessing a scenario, taking a risk. And this is where most people, I think, they say the grave is the richest place on earth because so many lost dreams, right? Oh, yeah. So many lost ideas and dreams that people just don't do. Why? Out of fear. Mm-hmm. So I've heard it put, and you just kind of put it in the same way. It's what's the worst case scenario? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's say if it's starting a new business and I'm on that venture, or even starting the podcast, what's the worst? Well, people are going to say they don't like it. Yeah. Okay, well, if people say I don't like it, I'm not really too concerned about their opinion. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to concern myself with them because they don't pay my bills. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, well, that's not so bad. So then I should do it, right? And it's kind of assessing and playing those scenarios in your head. So like you said, yeah, you know what? If I lost everything, I could be survive. I'd be fine, homeless. So not that you want to do that, but it's the mentality of I'm fine. Worst case scenario, the very worst thing could possibly happen. I'm gonna be okay. Odds are that's not gonna happen. That's a 1 in a billion chance. So if it's somewhere in the middle, I'm gonna be fine. Right? And I absolutely love that. And again, you just said it. So it's this is how you get past that fear, right? Of not doing, of not trying. Because at the end of the day, though, it's a beautiful story that you went on.
Yeah.
And you got, you're explaining these hill and it sounds magical.
Yeah.
Right? So, there is still a good experience attached to that. So definitely we should be doing some of those. Those are, even just going down the ski hill in the set boundaries is a calculated risk.
Yeah.
Right?
It
is. But it's okay, but you know what? It's, there is a risk reward payoff there that I think is worth it. So I think that's really amazing how you put that.
Yeah, and I think, the metaphor of the ski adventure is if you're going to go by yourself, right? Maybe you survive. But if you got team, you collaborate, you have a team of people, right?
Yes.
When you're making these risks, there's always a person to grab you.
Too far.
You haven't eaten all day. You're on 5 cups of coffee, right? Yeah. You're exhausted. Come on, man. Just tomorrow I'll be there.
Yeah.
It's going to keep snowing.
Yeah. It's been
just
snowing
relax,
all week.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
you're right.
I think, a lot of the business mentors or the coaches, fitness coaches or spiritual coaches, their best advice is just wisdom from experience, right?
Yes.
There's these little waves of your weight goes up and down, or your strength goes up and down, your life goes up and down. They're the same waves in the ocean that everyone's riding.
Yeah.
Right? So
that's a good analogy.
If you let your highs get too high and your lows get too low, then you know what I mean? you'll never be in the middle. But the highs can get high, just cut it off a bit. The lows can get low, but just pull it up a bit, right?
Yeah.
So if you start monitoring, like I always say, the red light, green light, and yellow light thoughts, you can start, pulling that gap together, and you're almost on that thin razor's edge. Mm-hmm. But that's really tough, right?
Totally. And I would take it one step even further to just say that, the way I've kind of looked at it is yes, your high, your lows won't be as low, right? Because you have somebody there to lean on. You trust yourself. You value yourself. So those lows won't be as low because you can reach out. Hey, they'll pick you up. But on kind of to counter that a little bit is you can take some bit more of those, sometimes those calculated risks, because you're like, wait a minute, like I know my group, my team has my back. So they're gonna go, you know what? If you fall, we'll catch you. So you can kind of take that a little bit more. If you fall, no big deal, right? Because you're going to do the same for them. So you can enjoy it a bit more. And then I find, too, is you're able to, enjoy it a lot more. Because isn't that the whole point of life, is to enjoy things and love and have love, joy, peace, excitement, and do those things. But if you're too scared to move, well, then what? Right? Then you're just living in this little, instead of it being this, where you're feeling these emotions, but you're not out of control, you're just feeling them, that's okay, versus just, okay, I'm just going to stay here all the time and never fluctuate, and never feel upset or angry or never be happy. And it's like, well, I'm okay that in my life, I want to feel these, and I know these are going to come, but for me, I know I have support there. I have my wife, who's a hero. My hero, you know what I mean? She's the greatest person in my opinion. And then I have those other people around me that are going to go, hey man, it's okay. And I can lean on. And maybe it's people I know personally, or maybe it's people I just follow or listen to their podcasts and stuff. So, it's a way to feel and enjoy life, taking some of those risks.
Yeah. And if we go back to the story where, if those three people are with me in the fall, then we all get kind of stuck, then we all can cheer each other up. We can help each other out. Maybe someone else's cell phone's working better. Maybe they have someone to call. Maybe the rope or a whistle or something.
Maybe one of them doesn't go in. One of them does go in. They can pull you out.
Exactly.
Right. So it is a good analogy for really not a thing, but it is a great analogy for life because again, you still want to ride those waves. You still want to ride those hills. Right. They're fun. I love snowboarding. It's a great time. Yeah. But now it's okay. Well, there's certain times where it's a calculated risk because now again, if you went with your friend, okay, it's a little calculated. We can all go together. We have equipment. No big deal. But no, I think that's amazing, and thank you for sharing. I think it's a beautiful story. I think a lot of people can learn from that. Yeah. Is there anywhere that people can find you? Because I know I've learned tons from you. I mean, we've done amazing breath work. We've done, like you said, the Japanese Korean sword fighting. Sorry, which is amazing.
Yeah, Korean sword fighting with the lightsaber.
With the lightsaber, which is a great time. I know you do MMA stuff. You do fitness. So where can people find you if they want to follow and some of the stuff you're doing?
So Ricco the Jedi. So it's at Ricco _Jedi _. But they can obviously, if they're watching the podcast,
I can always tag it.
Just tag it on there, and then we can connect through that for sure.
Absolutely. And is there any last wisdom that you'd want to impart to anybody right now that is going through a tough time, that feels like I'm frozen in my life, but what do I do? Yeah. What's the last parting wisdom?
I think if you feel yourself that you're frozen, the first thing is to do is, like, if you can envision it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Remember you pointed that out, that my brain was seeing it over and over again? Yeah. Okay, I'm going to be in the hot tub, in the hot spring. Even though maybe it wasn't going to happen. I told myself, it was going to happen. Yeah. I'm going to get out of here. And look at me, I'm sitting here now, right? Yeah. But it was in that moment where I envisioned it first. That is like alchemy, right? Yes. So there's nothing here. If I'm picturing something in here, like, where is it? Does it have a sight, sound, smell? Is there weight to it? There's nothing there. But then all of a sudden it comes into existence. There's a bit of alchemy happening.
Absolutely.
Like the Philosopher's Stone, or so to say. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny to say that because in our, I've talked to you before about our meditation workshop. Yeah. That is actually, I think, week 5 and 6, we talk about and how to do that and how to bring those things forth. And it sounds kind of weird, but it's having a goal and a purpose. Yeah. So I absolutely love that, and I think that's beautiful. One
point too is, like, I had to give up my ego or whatever, and I had to ask for help. So as soon as I was able to ask for help, it made a massive difference. Yeah. Yeah. So I had to admit to myself, I got myself in this situation. No one else to blame but myself. I'm stuck here, and the only way out is help.
Yeah. I can't climb out.
I can't climb out.
And it's also empowering too, because now you're admitting that you need help. And then again, now look at you. Now it's like I got more resilience than ever.
And I'm basically a nobody, right? But when you team up with people, you become a group, you become somebody.
Yeah.
You're not going to do. I don't see anyone go up there at the awards show and after like the hockey award or the acting award or poetry award. Yeah, I just did it by myself.
Yeah. No motivation, no nothing. I just wanted to. Yeah.
It was just all me, man. They usually say, I'm going to thank, God or something. I'm going to thank my parents. I'm going to thank my friends, my family. I'm going to thank my wife, my kids. I'm going to thank, all these different things, because you are a conglomeration of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they're the ones that kind of like let you shine. Yeah. No one goes up there and says they did it by themselves.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Absolutely.
Not even Michael Jordan, right?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a whole other topic. I definitely want to discuss that, but that'll be for another day. But so thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, and I always end with the hug. So bring it in, man.
Dude.
Thanks, brother. So thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. Really appreciate you joining, taking time for your day to listen and to learn. Thank you so much, Ricco Dicarlantonio, for being on this show. Love the man. Definitely has the hardest last name to pronounce, but thank you so much for being on this show. You guys can find him. I'll tag all of his information in the description. If you guys want to follow him, he's doing some amazing stuff with not only as a trainer, but through jiu-jitsu and all of his fighting styles, which is really amazing. So you guys can follow him on that. And again, thank you so much for being here. I will catch you on the next episode. Bye for now.